Michael, you guys came out of halftime down just 10. The game seemed to flip in those first few minutes. What did you see to start the second half when obviously they seized momentum and kind of carried that to the end?
I saw one team that wanted to be here and play with a purpose and urgency, and one team that did not want to be here and play with no urgency. And that's why we got our ass kicked.
Katie Wingy, Altitude Sports.
Hey, Coach, when they're sinking as much as they did defensively tonight, what can you do to counter that, especially when you aren't hitting shots from deep?
I don't know. Okay, I'll have to watch the film. We had a lot of guys play really bad tonight, and then we allowed the impact of not making a shot to affect the other end. And it was really, I mean, playoff basketball. Can you sit down and guard one-on-one? That's an embarrassing performance all the way around from top to bottom.
Jacob Toby, 9 News Denver.
Coach, was there anything with Michael that you talked about with the back or anything? I mean, how's he feeling after? And did he look right to you out there tonight?
Back is fine.
Mark Kisla, Denver Post.
Hey, Coach, Will Barton gave you a little jolt early. I know it's on minutes restrictions. What more can you – how much more can you utilize Will going forward?
Yeah, that was probably the only silver lining to a really rough night all the way around, because was Will Barton, who hasn't played in over 7 weeks. In his first game, goes out there, gives you 10 and 3, and gave us a bolt of energy in that first half. Makes a 3, blocks the shot, and he hated me when I took him out because they reached his minute restriction, and I understand that. I just told our players it's embarrassing that a guy that hasn't been able to play for 7 weeks was out there leaving it all on the line, and I don't think anybody else did. This was an embarrassing performance from myself all the way through the last player. We're walking out of here with our heads held down, rightfully so. And there's a reason that their crowd is yelling Suns in 4, and they're calling for a sweep, because if we play like this back in Denver, this is going to be a really quick series.
Ashley Neville, Mile High Sports.
Hey, Coach. Chris Paul had 15 assists and 0 turnovers tonight. I know that, as you mentioned before, that you coached him in the past and what he brings to the game, but what are you seeing from him, and why isn't he able to ever be stopped?
Well, yeah, he's a great player. He's one of the greatest to ever do it at that position. I think game 1, he had 11 assists, only 1 turnover. So obviously Chris Paul doesn't see us. He doesn't feel us. And we're not impacting what he's trying to do in any way, shape, or form, Ashley. And I think you could say that pretty much for the Phoenix Suns roster. They've had their way with us on both ends of the court. I felt we quit tonight, which is something you never want to see. So I guess for game 3, I'm just going to try to find guys that will at least go out there and leave it all on the line. I may have a hard time coming up with 5 guys that fill that, but these 2 games, these second halves, have really been disappointing, and that's an understatement.
Brandon Cristal, KOA Denver.
Coach, with so many things frustrating you, and understandably so, do you focus more on the emotional energy, that type of stuff, or more X's and O's over the next, 45 hours or whatever?
I think it's probably a combination. You always have to look at the X's and O's side of it, what we're not doing well, why we continue to make some of the same mistakes over and over and over, which is beyond me. When you spent 3 days leading up to game 1, you spent all day yesterday and this morning going into game 2, and guys seem to have a really hard time understanding what they're supposed to be doing and doing things that we've done before. So it's not like it's something new. But then as you mentioned, there's also the emotional side of it and the intangibles. Literally, I saw guys say, I'm not making shots tonight. I'm just going to walk around and mope. and my body language is going to be poor. And I felt that was the 5 guys on the court. That was the 12 guys on the sideline. We had no juice, no energy, no passion, no fight, no urgency, no grit. Come up with whatever adjective you want to use. We did not have it. And you can't use they were going home for game 3 as something you're going to rely upon. We have a great crowd, but if we play like this, they're going to boo us off the court, and rightfully so.
All right, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you, Coach.